Hey everyone, Danielle from Our Roaming Heart, and today I'm going to share our most recent experience at the Clearwater Aquarium. Now, if you don't know what the Clearwater Aquarium is famous for, they are the home of Winter and Hope from the movie A Dolphin Tale and A Dolphin Tale 2. They are located in Clearwater Beach, Florida, and that is just west of Tampa. And they are really popular because Winter is the dolphin featured in the movies. She was caught in a crab trap when she came to Clearwater Aquarium. The scars and the tissue was so damaged by the time that she got there that she ended up losing her tail. Most dolphins in the wild would die losing their tail. Like, they can't recover from that. But at the aquarium, they've rehabilitated her, taught her how to swim again without her tail. They even built her a prosthetic tail to help her swim. And she is living and inspiring so many people there at the aquarium that she's just an amazing story. So let's dive in and I will show you what to expect on your trip to Clearwater Aquarium. Now, they are under a massive reconstruction at the time of this video, July 2019. They expect all the construction to be done, I think they said late 2020. They've already done so much construction from the last time we were there 2 years ago. In my post, I'll kind of compare and contrast a little bit. But you pull in and they have a huge parking lot, parking garage. You pull in, you do have to pay to park. And then you come in and right in the parking garage is your ticket area. And you get your tickets and they have it so that in line you can watch some of the movie from the Dolphin Tale movie. They have some props from the movies itself and some great little tidbits about all the movie versus real life in the aquarium. Then you walk over, you follow the little signs on the sidewalk over to the aquarium. You enter and right away you're into their little snack area, the Shark Bite. It's got little snacks and ice cream and you can get lunch there. And then there's picnic benches under a huge shaded area that you can eat at. They have refreshments and drinks there. And then you walk in, and the first thing you walk into is the gift shop. And there's 3 directions, well, technically 4 directions that you can go. You can head to left to Stingray Bay, where they have all the stingrays and another water tank. You can go right to their animal hospital and see all the animals that are currently being rehabilitated. You can go straight to the underwater viewing area, where they have the underwater sharks and underwater viewing of Winter and Hope, or you can go up the stairs to the second level and see the animals from above. We are going to start by going right and talk about the animal hospital. They have one viewing area where they do a lot of surgery and it's all glass enclosure that you can watch as it's going on. We got lucky while we were there and we were able to see them prep an animal to get released into the wild the next day. So it was a turtle that had been rehabilitated and they were getting him all ready to go home. And it was just amazing to see that they were going to be able to release this animal into the wild and follow their mantra of rescue, rehabilitate, and release. And that is shown throughout the movies and it is shown throughout the entire facility. So as you continue walking down the hall, you come to their little sick bay pools, and luckily that they were not filled. There was no massive amounts of sick animals, but that also means there wasn't a lot there to see for us. But that's a good thing. You don't want these tanks filled because that means that there's a lot of hurt animals out there. You can also watch the food prep room where they're getting ready to feed the animals and prepping their food. They said that every day at 5 a.m. they have a bunch of volunteers that come in and help prep all the food for the animals and do feedings. So that is all able to be seen there. They have a wall that tells you the different animals that are currently at the hospital, what they're there for, how they're being treated, expected release date. Now, coming back out to the main gift shop, we'll go left towards Stingray Bay. Stingray Bay is a several-piece area where they have the Stingray touch tank where you can touch the stingrays, pet the stingrays. And then above the touch tank is a wood platform where they do demonstrations. They have talks. While we were there, they also did kind of like a trivia game with the audience. Very educational, teaching everybody about the different animals that they have there. And then you can continue down a little bit and they have a tall, massive aquarium where you kind of get an underwater view of the animals there. And they have stingrays and fish and turtles in there. One of the turtles, I thought it was hilarious in the little video that he was having such a, I don't want to say it's hilarious he was having a hard time, but just his way of swimming, because you could see his little fins have been mutilated in his accident that he had. So he's got a permanent home there at the park, and he just chugs away, doesn't let it faze him that he's moving slower than the others, or that he's, got more buoyancy than the others, and he just chugs away and just swims to where he wants, and happy as can be. Such a little fighter there. I loved watching him and watching him just keep going. Also down there is the old surgical area where they do have some smaller animals. At the time, they had just put up a sign that they had had a seahorse there that had been released back into the wild as well. Now, this hallway also loops around to the underwater viewing area, and you can also loop around to the underwater viewing area from the gift shop. Coming from the gift shop, the first thing that you come across are Thelma and Louise. They are their nurse sharks, and their shark tank has a wonderful viewing area that you can get kind of right up close and see them. If you're lucky, like we were, they will be laying right next to the window. And then you go around the corner, and there's a kind of like a hallway. There's seating, and then in the middle there's a touch tank where you can get up and you can touch different animals. They have hermit crabs, sea urchins, a spider crab. And then on the other side of that tank where you're not able to touch are pufferfish in that area as well. And then the whole wall, there's also glass of the sharks, and you can watch the sharks and the fish swim by. And then there's also a tank there that has an eel, and it's kind of got the black light to it, and you can just watch him kind of slither in and out of the different rocks and holes that they have there for him. Now, coming back out, you enter what they call Shipwreck Bay, and this is the underwater viewing area for the dolphins. And it's all decorated up with black. They've got some black light, and it's like a pirate theme, and some of the sharks and some of the skeletons talk. It's kind of cool. It's a little scary for some of the other kids, some of the littler kids, but once they realized that Winter and Hope were down there, they were fine. They have several windows with step stools that you can get up and watch Winter and Hope. You can watch them doing their regular playtime. It gets really crowded when they're doing a presentation up top. Everyone seems to want to come down there and see them from under the water. The glass is a little cloudy, but they always have someone down there to answer questions. They did have a third dolphin while we were there. Her name is PJ. And she was rescued by Clearwater Aquarium and needed to be rehabilitated because she had a shark bite on her tail. She is a huge dolphin, and the kind of rehabilitation that she needed, they were not able to do at the aquarium, so she spent some time at SeaWorld. Once she was rehabilitated, they found out that, or during her rehabilitation, they found out that her echolocation system is gone, so she is essentially blind, and she's not able to be released out into the wild. She is 30 years old, which is the expectancy of a dolphin, so they don't really expect her to live too much longer. And she does have some arthritis in her tail now from the shark bite, so she has a permanent home there at Clearwater Aquarium, and she gets along great with Winter and Hope and loves playing with them. You could watch her toss the ball around with them, and she likes swimming around with them, and she especially likes having this red towel over her face, and she likes swimming around with it and then joking and throwing it at the other dolphins. So she's really fun. They're all really fun to watch interact underneath the water. They did say in their new facility, they're going to have massive floor-to-ceiling windows so that everyone can get to see. Right now, the windows are a little smaller, so it's kind of hard. You're kind of looking over people's shoulders to see things, but they're going to have massive floor-to-ceiling windows so that everyone can get a good view and be able to watch them, and it'll be a lot better experience. All right, now we head upstairs, and this is where you can get the overview. You can watch the shark area, and you can see the sharks from above, and they'll do some different talks there. And then right next door to the shark one is the main event. That is Winter's area, and it's called the Winter Zone with Hope and PJ. And this is where they have their main area, which is what you can see under the water, and then they have their little separate homes. So if they want to not be around the public, they keep them open so they can swim in there and be by themselves and not be bothered. But then they also have the area where they can come out and play with each other and have some fun. There is there's some seating off to the side, and there's railings, and they let them just play during the day. And then they are able to do their different performances. They come out and have different times where people can get photos with them, they can interact and do different tricks, can help feed them, things like that. They do a lot of educational talks on the history of each of the animals there and on dolphins in general. They're very, very educational based. Now, right behind the area, winter zone, is the office set from the movie, and they said they have not touched it. The boards are the same. They do some board meetings in there, but it's all right there. It's normally not open to the public, but we were able to get some pictures in there with a couple of the actors because they were there that day. They do different meet and greets throughout the year, some of the actors from the show. So the kids were very excited about that. They got to get some pictures and talk to them a little bit, and they were just mind blown. They didn't recognize them at first because it's been a few years, but once they realized who they were, like they were in seventh heaven. So if you're able to go and at any of the times when the actors are doing their meet and greets, I highly recommend it. It's not as busy as I thought it was going to be. I thought the place was going to be swamped, but it was not any busier than really a normal day that we've been there before. All right, next to Winter Zone is the Turtle Bayou, where they have a couple of the massive sea turtles in there that are either being rehabilitated, or I believe one of them is there because he can't be re-released. I'm not 100% sure. I missed the talk on that one. But they're there, and they've got their whole little habitat going, and they're able to be seen from above. And then right next door is Otter Oasis, where they've got a couple sea otters there. And let me tell you, those guys are the laziest animals in the entire building. Every time we walked by, they were just laying there, bellies up, basically sunning themselves, and they hardly ever moved. One got up, moved, laid back down. Every time I walked by, they were just sunning themselves, not doing anything at all. So the life of an otter, it must be so nice. So there is that. And then there's also a little pelican room there with as some of the pelicans, the same breed that played Rufus in the movie. So they're able to see that, and they do a couple presentations there as well. Now, once you're done there, you can walk outside, and they have a whole little section for Nicholas. He's the only male dolphin there. And he has his own little tank, and they do different presentations out there with him. And that's a whole nother experience out there. And then they also offer several specialty items. They offer kind of like a behind the scenes tour. They offer different feedings. They offer different photo opportunities. And then they also offer several boat rides. They have a dolphin excursion that goes out into the bay there and goes looking for dolphins specifically. And then they have a couple what they're called sea life safaris, and that's what we did. It's a boat where they go out, and it's not just for the enjoyment of us, the crowd that goes out there. There's an actual marine biologist on board, and they're going out and they're doing testing samples of the areas to check the conditions of the harbor, to check the sea life. And while they're out there, they give you all the information on the harbor and the sea life and the animals. What they did is they went out, and I guess they have a bunch of different spots that they check. I think they said that they put a week in between each spot that they check. They don't check the spot more than once a week. So they go out, and they will put a net out, and they will troll for about 3 minutes or so, and then they'll take a look at all that they catch in the net, and they will record sizes and animals or how many, and they explain the importance of each one. They show you and explain each one. They caught a couple small fish, a couple crabs. I forgot what the one was, but it almost looked like a conch shell, but it wasn't an actual conch. It was another sea snail. It was huge that they got. And then they release them all back out. They call, oh, a pufferfish was another one. And then they release them all right back out into the water. There's also a little island out in the harbor. They dock there at the island. They let you get off and walk around a little bit. You can stick your feet in the water. They have it where you're able to collect a shell, and they check to make sure there's nothing living or anything in the shell. And you can bring a shell home and then head back to the harbor. And while you're out there, they always do, if there's dolphin sightings, they'll slow down, take in some of the dolphin sightings. They'll explain some of the buildings in the area as well, along with just a lot of great information, especially for the kids. So that is basically Clearwater Aquarium. We did end up spending an entire day there, and we were exhausted afterward. A good kind of exhausted, because there's just so much to do, and you can circle the museum or the aquarium once and then go back and have a completely different experience circling it again. And the kids wanted to bounce from looking at Winter and Hope from down below to bouncing back up to seeing them from the surface. So lots to do. I do recommend checking them out. They are on the Tampa Bay City Pass, so I will include a link in the description below for that, so you can get discounted tickets, but also get tickets to SeaWorld and several of the other museums, and I believe the zoo there in Tampa. Also, do a lot of the special events are listed on their website. And you do need to make sure that if you want to do anything like the pictures or anything like that, there's only a certain amount of them a day. So I would recommend booking those online if you can. I believe that is everything that you need to know. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd love to connect with you, and I hope to talk to you again soon.